welcome, and thank you guys for joining us tonight. I'd like to welcome you to your new social media platform, your new entertainment platform. Tonight, we are here joining you from Black Table Talk. I am tonight's welcome host. My name is King Jules, and I would like to start off by introducing my lovely cocktail in honor of Cinco de Drinko or Cinco de Mayo, which is this Tuesday. I made my famous craft margarita. And this is a Patron margarita, by the way. Top shelf, you know? Okay. Ladies, anyone like to join me in introducing themselves?
I'll go.
Okay.
Lexo, you're on mute.
We can't hear you, sweetie.
Oh, that's
I love it.
Yo, it's too many technical difficulties.
Difficulties over here. All right, go ahead.
So, I got me a little tropical, a little leche.
Okay.
Hawaiian.
Yes.
Okay. Trying to go somewhere. I'm trying to be on an island somewhere. You know, this quarantine got us really messed up. Okay.
Okay.
I'm here for the island vibes.
Yes, island.
What y'all got? What's that?
I have a skinny Rita because we getting lit on a diet over here. They're low in calories, but they're really strong. And light ice.
Okay, light
A
ice.
good little drink. So.
Yes, skinny Rita, light ice.
And since we're going by Instagram names, I Miss Essence.
Okie
What's up, everybody? This is Alyssa, aka Cradled in Love. I am rocking a Crystal Light Virgin Bellini over here with a watermelon gummy. Your girl is, I'm not a saint. I'm yet a sinner, but I'm a child right now.
Alyssa is crazy.
Cheers.
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 Cheers. Yes, ladies. Here's
I'll
to
do
a
it too.
cheers in our first episode. And we are so happy to have you guys here with us. So if you're at home or wherever you are, if you have your cocktail, cheers it up with us. All right. So let's get down to business. Today we have a current event that we like to bring to you for an open table discussion. And we are going with tonight's vibe is on the tip of my tongue, and it is, we said we were going with,
Check the notes.
Check
the
the
director's notes.
what are we supposed to be talking about? Oh, okay. No, so we all know that Megan Thee Stallion has this song, Savage or whatever. And I guess it went viral. Correct me, ladies, if I'm wrong. But I think it went viral off of TikTok. Like, everyone knew about the song, but I think it got, like, the most exposure off of TikTok.
Sure.
And then I guess, like, she redid her song recently with the queen, Beyonce, we all know and love. And so, yeah, we just wanted to bring it to the Black table and see what's going on. Ladies, how do you feel?
You know, I definitely agree with you. I'm a little bit, I'm a 90s R&B type of chick, so
Yes.
I really don't get into the new stuff, and I'm currently about to be a mother, so I don't know all the newest things, but I will tell you the first time I heard the song, the original, was on TikTok. But I love Beyonce for jumping in. I didn't even realize that Megan was from Houston or Texas, and you know, I feel like she does that. She did that with Nicki Minaj. She did a lot of little tracks with her. I don't think she's done anything with Cardi, but she, you know, she's really about women empowerment. You know, her and Shakira. So I like it. I'm here for it. And you know, Beyonce's not new to rap. I know she probably, you know, had Jay-Z come on in. I mean, baby gonna be on a rap track because look at who her husband is.
Right.
All he got to do is come in and kind of jot down a couple verses for her, and she's good. So I think it's not that she can't do it on her own, but I think that's great.
I loved it. I mean, even if I didn't, I wouldn't say anything because I don't want the beehive coming for me. But I mean,
They be coming.
They will come.
They will come.
That's what I
They're
don't
sitting
want.
already.
They ready. So no. I loved it. Not one bad review.
But I will say I love Beyonce, but like an unbiased opinion, I did love Beyonce's verse. I thought her verse was she did her thing. She was very H-Town. It was very her. It was very hood and bougie. It was very ratchet, classy.
Wait, did y'all hear about the demon line though?
The who?
The demon line?
No.
I mean,
I did not hear about the demon line.
She said what? No, but it was more of like, okay, so on Instagram, you know how they had their little twerk fest type of thing? So they called them demons. So she was saying, I don't know her little line. Let me pull it up for you. Hold on.
Girl,
But she had like she was giving.
She called who the demons?
Hold on, get y'all the line. No, but like on Instagram, they have like these little twerking fests, and they call the girls demons. Like, where the demons at? We on type shit. And she mentioned them in the song.
Oh no! Pull that up, honey. I did not know. I didn't know that, honey. Pull that up. But I was just gonna say, I would have much rather her like just took the beat herself and just redid it, kind of how Nicki did with Tatiana, and she just did Barbiana on her own. Because Megan, I think they waited too late. A lot of things with music, it has to be done in a timely fashion, and the way and the amount that Savage was in rotation, it should have been like a B release sooner. Because now when I hear it, before Beast Part can even come on, I'm just like, oh, okay. And they kind of try to do something with the beat or put Beyonce in the back, like singing the whole time, but it's still annoying. I was only able to listen to it for that purpose, to hear Beast verse, and I'll probably never play that or the original Savage again until I'm somebody's grandma and I'm picking them up from college and I'm bumping my old schools, you know? That's just me.
I'm so proud of myself. I learned the whole Savage remix TikTok dance this weekend.
Oh my God!
It was the white girl version. The black girl version was too hard, but I don't feel right. I gotta figure out the black girl version.
Huh? Give us like 5 seconds?
Yeah, we want to see. We want a little peek.
We want to see. Give us like 5 seconds.
We need a little,
gosh, okay.
I need a little peek.
Wait, let me
play the song.
Wait, but it has to be the clip of the TikTok. I'll play it.
Okay.
Acting stupid. I don't know. I know that part.
That's the original. She did the remix.
Oh, you did the remix? Oh, they got a remix.
I did the remix because I want to be the first on. And my TikTok is kind of going up, y'all.
I did the remix because I want to be first on. Shout your TikTok out, boo.
On the lowest of keys. You know what? I like that TikTok. Like, it's like private though. Like, I don't really know any of my followers. So it's just like I feel free to do me.
Yeah, I feel that.
Let's see.
Well, if you happen to find Essence on TikTok, she's going.
Okay, let's see. Sounds. Here we go. Okay, here it is. Okay. Can y'all hear?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on.
No, you gotta get up.
Hold on.
Come on.
I need to really stand up.
Just give us like 5 seconds.
I just ate. All right.
I mean, okay. Top part. Most of TikTok is all hands anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let me stay where I'm at. Okay.
Don't try to get out now. I just
real ass, baby, here's your chance. I say left cheek, right. Wine, Texas up in this thing. Eat you up in this game. I can talk to my friend. You don't jump to put jeans on, baby. You don't feel my pain.
Okay, now let's do it.
We appreciate your bold and courageous effort, honey, because that is the hard one. And look, hard one. You over there, baby, Jesus Christ.
Hey.
She ain't mean me, dog. She ain't mean that. Oh my God.
That's embarrassing.
So
That's okay.
That's fun. That was fun.
I'll send y'all the video when it's done.
Yes, please.
Yes, send the video.
Drop it in the group text. Yeah, how we do. So you said that the demon part. Okay, so yeah, did we ever get the clip on that? Because that was interesting. Because a lot of people, here's my thing, like as far as Beyonce goes, my thing is like a lot of people say like she's like Illuminati and this and that or whatever, what have you. I feel like sometimes you just look too far, and sometimes if you look further enough, you will find it. Is what I'm trying to say. And I feel like I don't know her personally. but girl, I can know you. So if you're ever watching this, hit me in the DMs for the number. But what I will say is that from my experience of her, just like how she expresses herself most times through social media and all these other platforms, like other celebrities, she really does push herself to be like this wholesome kind of person. And I feel like how secretive she is, I feel like if she was expressing this like Illuminati nature, this devilish nature, I feel like she just wouldn't say anything. Like, she's that type of celebrity that we don't even expect her to say anything. Her career was not built on that flamboyance of like outspokenness or media influence. So she doesn't have to push any initiative on us at all. So for her to push, she doesn't win. Like, she was very quiet for a long time about the Black culture because that's how she won for so long. But then she came out with her most recent album, Lemonade, which was one of her most recentest albums now. But she didn't win any really awards for that album. She didn't really win any respect for that album because it was an African-American based album. And I felt like that was her taking her stance on how she felt. I felt like that's how she's been her whole career. And if that's really how she felt, she wouldn't be hiding it, I don't think. She wouldn't have to do subs. She's not the sub type of person to me, but that's just how I feel. But I am interested. Do you find like?
Well, just real quick, remember I told you like the little Instagram post, them calling the strippers demons, it has nothing to do with like, you know, Illuminati or anything bad. It's just like,
I know.
She was basically saying like, I'm with the shit too.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, she was like, she said, hips TikTok when I dance on a demon time, she might start an OnlyFans.
Right. Okay. Right. See, that's what I'm saying. So like, you're saying like, the demons are like a ratchet street people, like, you know what I'm saying? And like, it's like a term. But see, somebody would have looked at that and been like, Beyonce.
Yeah, somebody who don't know.
No, don't know. That's what I was just saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we get into that. But yeah, so that's the hottest buzz. Megan and Beyonce made this new song, and literally before I could even play it in the afternoon, I had seen it across every story, every timeline, like 100 times. And I feel like everybody was like, yes, B, because it's Beyonce or because it was Megan. Or maybe there are people who like radio hits, who love listening to the same song over and over and over. Maybe these people don't have TikTok. I don't know. Some people are loving it. Some people are hating it. You heard how we felt about it. And
all of the hype is all like surrounding the fact that the two H-Town hotties came together. Like it could have been any song, people was gonna be hyped.
Right. Maybe that's it. I feel that. But that's all the time we have today for current events. So we'll get on with the getting on. So we will go dive in straight to our topic. This is the moment of truth. This is the moment that you came for. Today's topic is going to be quarantine dating. So I know, like, I personally seen, and like a lot of the other girls too have seen this topic going around because like we've been talking about it and like sending each other articles and this and that. And so quarantine dating is a hot topic. COVID-19 is a hot topic. Just quarantine in general is a hot topic. And I feel like amongst us women, dating is always a topic. So this is a perfect time for us to open the floor and discuss quarantine dating for I feel like everybody out there. It's not just really a ladies thing. I do hope my ladies really tune into this and hear us out. But I think that this is good for anybody to hear. So of course, if you guys ever see me like diving down or dipping low, no, I'm not diving in the DMs. I'm setting the timer. I mean, depending on who, you know what I'm saying? But there's time, space, and place, sweetie. But no, you guys setting time limits so that way we can kind of just be clear and concise. So you guys can get your information from us in a fun, collective, concise way, okay? So each person gets 5 minutes. So I guess I will get us started and I will dive right into it. So I'm going to state my topic and then I will start the clock. Here's how I feel about dating. And this is just like a genuine thing. I feel like if you are single right now, you should probably stay that way. And I am going to say why. If you're single right now, I feel like you should probably stay that way because this is something that I had to do personally for myself. I feel that if you would want to be half of someone else, you truly do have to be your whole person. And I know it sounds cliche and it might even be harder than it sounds or easier said than done. Well, lucky for you, I have done it and said it. So a while ago, maybe I would say 5 years ago now, or a little bit before then, I started my own personal self-isolation journey without COVID-19. And I moved far away from the city when I was living in Los Angeles, and I kind of toned into my innermost self, kind of blocked people out, and it was a lonely experience, but I wasn't alone. So I still had people that I went out and saw my girls here and there, and I still entertained guys here and there as well. But I took that time, and it was about 4 years that I was celibate and to myself, and I took that time to fall in love with myself genuinely. And this is not like just how we say, like, I love myself, I know myself, because I don't think you get to a point where you love yourself and you start to love yourself more, but I don't think we ever know ourselves. We're always learning and growing. But long story short, I took that time to know myself and to love myself. And when I say love myself and know myself, I spent plenty of alone time. And like I said, even the times that I was social, it was still because I put me as a priority. So for me, it was a lot about taking myself to the movies, doing dinners by myself, reading for myself, figuring out what I liked and what I didn't like. I actually blocked myself from social media for 4 years because I felt like media is a lot of the influence. You feel a lot of pressure from your peers, women your age or around you, to like these certain things or don't like these certain things or have these certain desires. So I felt like for me, in order to figure out what was important for me and what I liked, I had to zone into myself. I did things like watch The Secret every Sunday, read self-help books to figure out how to attract more things of what I wanted once I figured out who I was and what I wanted. And I promise you not, my dating experience has been 110 times much better. Once I figured out who I was, loved that about me, and decided what that person wanted and was able to express that into positive energy, because I decided that law of attraction is something that I also love in getting to know myself. So once I was able to do that, I only started to date guys that I like. And like, no guy's perfect, so you're gonna have problems. But I mean, I canceled out by loving myself and putting myself as my highest priority. I canceled out so much other, like 50, I would say even 75% of the crap I was dealing with before. So you have your forced quarantine. You are being forced to stay inside to get to know yourself. And I think it's a beautiful time for you to do that without the pressures of society or the outside world. So that way, when we do open up, you'll be twice as confident as you ever were before. And any man that you're interested in and your dating experience overall will be twice as easier. Ladies, what do you guys think about that?
Preach. For real.
Love it. I think you definitely, nail on the head.
Yeah.
For me, just to come from a different perspective, I am currently in a relationship, but it's not long distance, but it feels long distance right now. In the beginning of this COVID-19 thing, like during March, he would come visit, and this is also the father of my unborn child. So, he would be over here all the time. We would still be making trips to do like groceries and stuff together and whatnot. But as this thing has gotten more and more serious, like I said, I'm in the DMV. So, he's in DC, I'm in Maryland, and both of us are under stay-at-home orders, and so also because of the pregnancy, we're really trying to stay strict to the codes and everything like that. So one thing I will have to say is just like communication is key. And I feel like you can tell when you have a solid relationship when you're going through difficult times. So this is one of the times, I think this is a good test of, if you are in a relationship, how solid is it? Are you the kind of person that needs to be directly under somebody 24/7 or all the time, or you don't feel loved, because that is some people's love language, is quality time. So if you're not getting that, what can you do to keep the momentum going, keep the fire going? So, even today, I was just telling the ladies before the show started that we had a little FaceTime date, and I got a little dolled up, and, he was looking cute. And we just spent a couple, hours on FaceTime chatting and talking and, be having that face-to-face time, because we text all throughout the day. And, he'll call me at night when we're getting ready to lay down. But it's just nice to be able to see that person and to keep the lines of communication open, because then you can tell that person is thinking about you. They're making an effort to stay in contact with you. And I think communication is like the biggest key if you are in a situation where you guys aren't quarantined together in the same household, which is like a whole nother situation, because I'm actually kind of glad that we're not at that point right now, because I might be getting sick and tired of him, because stuff going on in this house that I'm ready to bounce as soon as the doors open.
Okay, so we kind of got a little off there. That was a good perspective, Alyssa, but I think that was more of like what your topic was probably going to be about.
Yeah, I thought we were just bouncing from one to one. I didn't know we were going to take time and.
So we will just like continue, like, you know, we'll just be like natural. We'll just continue to go, but
the 5 minutes was like, you know, my bad, y'all.
We can always edit. We can always edit.
Yeah, the next person can just go, but that's just another reason why it's really good to read the notes before you come on. That's why I make them and we send them so that we know what's going on, guys. All right, go ahead, Esther.
Okay, wait. I still feel like we should chime in now that she, you know, said what she had to say. So we can just add that to the end of the video, and then we'll do that for yours too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought we was all just going to our different things. After one person talked, then I thought it was jumping to the next person.
So it's like that the person says their topic and then we do a 5-minute discussion. So like the timer just went off for mine. So now you're supposed to be going. But it's fine. For me, it didn't flow. So that's why I brought it up, because we kept doing it like that, the episode wouldn't make sense, because then it's like, okay, well then like, how do you connect that?
Yeah, I get it.
Why don't you comment on what Nia said when we all just have to edit this and rearrange everything? But we can go and comment on Nia's for a couple minutes and then a couple minutes on Alyssa's. Or how do you want to do it?
Okay.
We can just pick up wherever, because honestly, it's not going to be as authentic at this point.
I don't know what you said though.
Huh?
Yeah, we know what you said. Like going into like what you were saying about like your singleness and like taking that time to like be with yourself anyways. And like, I agree, like if you are single right now, like you should just stay single. There's no need to like go out and, I mean, actually to each his own. Like, do you, sis? If something ends up happening, you know, to where you want to date while you're in quarantine, that's cool too. But I see why for some people it is important right now to just be with yourself. A lot of people don't take that time in between relationships.
I think it's a perfect time too to reflect on yourself. I mean, it's a great time to just work on yourself, get your house in order, get your space in order, whatever you need to do. I mean, I do feel like if maybe you were talking to somebody before this whole thing, you know, went down, I definitely say, you know, keep engaging them in conversation. And it's probably better if you are trying to court somebody or date somebody, if you aren't always, you know, around them, to be physical, because then you have nothing to do but talk, you know, or nothing to do but, you know, figure out who each other are. So it's an even better time to kind of get that whole different perspective on who they are without only getting like the Twitter painting feelings of like, ooh, he touched me, you know. So
yeah,
touch you verbally. So.
I agree.
Y'all hit the points.
Alyssa, I feel like that was really like interesting to know about you and your relationship and how that's going with quarantine. That's like such a different situation. I'm sure that like there are people out there that can relate. I have a friend that's also pregnant right now, and it's just really just a different time. It's like very uncertain, and like one thing for certain is that you're having a child. It's still coming, so it's like at least I can like I think that would bring me joy every day, knowing that for sure that's one thing for sure that's gonna happen, and you're gonna have more love in your life.
Yeah. And it's giving us
sending positive vibes to you and your man.
with each other.
Wait, I have a question, Alyssa. So how does that, like, because we are in this quarantine, obviously the bonding between you and the father, it's kind of like, you know,
yeah,
a little bit. So that's what I'm saying. How do you like cope with that besides, you know, FaceTiming and stuff like that? Because I know like emotionally, you know, you would want him there while you're growing a baby.
Like recently I just started to see I can feel my baby move, but like recently I just started to see my stomach like do these jumps, like you can kind of see like my stomach is rolling, you know. So I'm like, dang, you know, this would be a time where I'm like, babe, come look or come feel, you know. So I just took a video of it sent it to him. He immediately called me like, oh my gosh, I think so. He wants to be here just as bad. But, right now it's about the health of our child and the health of themselves. I'm hearing some horror stories about pregnant women and infants. So, but we just try to make it work. In the beginning, he was coming over here reading to the baby. So now I just, try to put him on speaker so the baby can still hear his voice. And we're currently working on getting a house together. So that's also been a process, and doing it during COVID-19. So just trying to make everything work. You have to be willing to do the work, and that's how you know if it's real or not. If you're willing to put the work in, I think.
Yes, and actually, I think we're gonna transition, because that's exactly what I wanted to talk about. I feel like quarantine dating, I do like it. I just feel like because we are so distant, it gives us time to actually get to know who we're talking to. Like, we don't have no distractions. We don't have no peer pressure, no sexual tension. Like, it's just real, genuine conversation. And I feel like that's the best foundation for any type of relationship, friendship. I want to get to know who you are. Like, let's really talk about some stuff and see if we vibe. So, yeah, I'm here for the quarantine dating.
Hey.
Okay, so here's my question. Well, one thing I wanted to say was a cool idea what I thought Alyssa and Kelsey were doing, or I don't even know if we're supposed to be using it, but because no one else said it. Everybody's like, the father. Y'all better humanize. First of all, Kelsey's my best friend, and I know him personally. Kelsey, hey. So, like I was saying, I think it's a great idea what you guys are doing, like the virtual dating, or just like little ideas like that. Like I saw somebody did a car date with their significant other who they don't live with, and they both just got like the same exact meal and like pulled up on the side of each other and rolled the window down, and it was like super cute. So if you are quarantine dating, or if you're in a situation like where you're already in a relationship and you are not living with your significant other, I think that was like a really cool like virtual way to and maybe you can keep sharing more of your virtual tips while you're doing that, because that was really cool. And then for those, I guess a lot of people are saying my opinion is a lot of you girls are saying virtual dating quarantine dating is the yes. So here's my question, I guess more specifically for you, Alexis. Sorry, there's a lot of A's up in here. But okay, so we're here for the quarantine dating, and we're saying that it takes a while and all this stuff, and that distance does make the heart grow fonder and all that stuff, right? I find that easier to understand when you already know a person. I just feel like, for an example, the catfishing thing, that was a huge thing in our generation, because all it was virtual communication. And then you pull up, and this person is nothing like that person.
No, I feel you 100%.
Don't you ever come by here, okay?
See, that's the thing. So that's what I'm saying. FaceTiming, we doing everything. Show me what is this? Okay. What you doing today?
So that's cool.
What you wearing? It's a real conversation. I want to know if we vibe on that.
Right. And then how do you tell about? Oh, go ahead. What are you saying?
No, I don't know. If I was single right now, I don't know if I would pick up something new, be on Tinder scoping out. But thinking, had I gone on maybe one date with somebody before this, I would continue to get to know him during this process, even though we can't go on any more dates. But I don't know if I'm picking up complete strangers right now. But
no, I agree with you. Yeah.
It's up to be to have fun.
So we're saying, I just want to clarify for the audience perspective. You know what I'm saying? So we're saying, because I feel that I could piggyback off what Alyssa's saying, what you saying, not picking up anything new. I can vouch for that. If you're not picking up anything new, but you're just dating someone that you've already dated, or you already know, or you've been dating, and then this just happened, that's okay. Maybe even open that. But then how do you decide? There's certain things, but so that's what we're saying. Not everybody's saying not pick up anything new, okay? But how do you decide, even if this is not anything new, this is still not anything long term or anything genuine, let's say, how do you know if this person is telling the truth? Are we still taking it serious in quarantine? Or are we just putting things on pause, keeping up with communication until we get back out on quarantine, and then we starting off where we left off in reality? Because there's dangerous. I'm trying to just warn y'all of the danger. There are many, many dangers. I don't want to scare you guys. I don't want to do that. But there are many, many dangers of real dating. There are many, many dangers of real dating. So of course there are going to be these extreme dangers of online virtual dating. I mean, that's why I personally, even before coronavirus or the COVID-19, I've never personally tried it myself just because of the dangers. But I know plenty of people, don't let me scare you, there are plenty of people who are married to their significant other, long-term relationships from something that they met online, but I'm sure there's like a responsibility. I'm sure there's like a guy, like drink responsibly kind of thing. I'm sure there's like online responsibility.
Yeah, be cautious. Like, you know, don't entertain no crazy conversations and stuff like that. I feel like it's just all a vibe. Like, you know, if you want to talk to somebody because whatever and you vibe
but it's
in.
easy to talk that talk in jail. Like, we're essentially locked up. So have you ever talked to a guy in jail?
I feel like I can chime in here. Like, this is kind of where my situation comes in.
Are we pen paling?
I was pen paling, and he was locked up and was telling me everything I wanted to hear. I was like one of those that, you know, the memes are like, don't text your ex at this time, like nothing needs to be rekindled. I should have listened. I rekindled a relationship that I had like been on and off for like the last probably like 8 years. And this time just seems so much different. And I kind of thought about it and I was like, you know, it's probably like what you said because we're locked up. And so, you know, it's easy to like say what somebody wants to hear. But this week I realized that he's still the same person. So we broke it off, like, and I'm just deciding to not even go back to that at all and just focus on me. And it's like, honestly, to be in the house all day, it's been really easy to just do me. Like, I've gotten involved in more things. This video has taken up time. I'm sorry, our chat, Black Table Talk, just like reconnecting with my friends, my homegirls, like keeping communication with them is an all-day job. My friends are needy. They need attention and love that I probably didn't get to give them when I was running around New York being fast. And I can also relate to the stories that were about, the situations where like you're talking to someone, like I went on a couple dates. I was dating someone in New York and I mean, we vibed, but I did kind of think he was boring, but this really brought it to my attention. I was like, yo, but he had everything else that I was looking for. So I was going to just go with it. But like being in quarantine, having to actually connect and talk on the phone, like you figure out that like we really don't vibe like that. Like I'm bored. So I was also in that situation and like, I'm for the streets. I'm ready for it to open back up so I can get back out.
Yeah, it is.
As far as dating goes,
figure out what's working and what's not. You were able to weed out two ain'ts, and I think it should always be casual if you're not in a relationship, even if you're in the house or out of the house. So I think you should be talking to multiple people during this time, not because it's not like you're going around sleeping with all of them. You're in the house, but you can go. I'm talking to Johnny today at 4. I'm texting Mark.
I like that.
You got a schedule, honey.
I'm casual.
That's how it needs to be. Yes. Like the best man wins, sweetie. We're booked, and time is next.
Be casual. Have fun. Get to know people.
I think this will be good practice too. Like being in the house dating, it'll be good practice for when I go back outside, how to keep it casual and how to keep a good, healthy rotation going.
Also, too, though, while we're on this topic, I found, how do you know what's a healthy rotation, right? Because I found myself in a rotation and it's a mighty fine one, but then there's, I loved it. It was a point in time, just to give you a little background on my situation. I was in a relationship that I'm not in anymore and I've been single since December. And after that, I started 2020, I started a rotation. And my ex happened to be in that rotation. So maybe I guess where I messed up is not, you don't put your ex back into the rotation, right? Because now there's this line where he's like the priority nigga, right? And I feel like, and I don't want to call it a rotation, just in case some of my participants are watching, You're not a rotation, sweetie. You're not a rotation, babe. It's a collective effort. It's casual dating. So we'll call it casual dating. So my congregation, what happens now is I'm starting to feel like, when do you know when to draw up the line? Because I have my ex who I'm most comfortable with. And then I have one of my friends who I've started this new vibe with. And it's very genuine, you know, and there's nurture there, there's care there. And so, and then, you know, you have someone who's exciting and risky. So how do you know which one is the one to zone in at the right time? Because now I'm finding myself wanting more from my ex, which that wasn't the deal. Like, he's supposed to be my ex and I'm supposed to be casual dating, right? But the more I hang out with him, the more uncasual I want it to be. And then I have this new thing that I'm like, maybe I should focus in and explore that. But I kind of want to keep that casual because I don't want to do the wrong thing and hurt that person or hurt our relationship. But then at the same time, I'm like, this is a really good man. How long do I keep this casual before I just say, okay, I'm done with that and I'm going to zone in on this? So how do you guys know? Help me, because I don't have the answer for that. That's what I'm struggling with, is how do you know when is a good time to cancel the rotation? Well, I guess I do know. When one of them step up and claim you, like the Hunger Game, you know? So the best man will win, I guess. I guess none of them have fought hard enough. I didn't answer my own damn shit. I got to put all my damn business out there.
That's all you need.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's all you need is to talk about your own situation for long enough, and he'll answer everything.
I mean, whoever's giving you that mutual kind of, you know, vibe. Like if somebody,
right.
You feel like you got to pull teeth to talk to them, or you feel like it's something on their end that's not as like, you're not giving me the energy I'm giving.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Well, the laws of attraction here, it's unbalanced. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling like I'm putting more out than you are. Right. I feel like when you get to that point, you know, but then I think for us females, it's hard because it's like always like the guy that we're kind of like, he's the one putting all the effort, all the energy in. And the guy that we really, really like, he's like, what's up?
Yeah. Like, did you guys see that TikTok? I gotta find it. I sent it to Alexis, actually. It's in one of our threads. I'm gonna drop it in the group text later, but you guys gotta see it. And it was like, yo, it's like the good guy, he be like, good morning, beautiful, you. So she like, she don't even read it. And then it's like, ding, and then she checks it. It's like, what's up, ugly? Wake your stupid ass up. What you talking about? What up, bitch? I was like, what up, hoe? Wake your stupid ass up. She was like, yo, that's the thing you want. The what up, hoe? Wake your sleepy ass up. You
that's
like
terrible,
crazy, and that's trash. It really is. It's like,
yeah.
And then there's another TikTok. Essence got me hooked on this TikTok, you guys. Shame her. She is the devil.
You're not even supposed to be on there.
I'm not even supposed to be on there, you guys. And Essence got me on it and hooked. And there's this other girl, she's like standing in, y'all know the one where like, I'm trying to make it go down and it's going over here. And she had like good guys and bad guys. And she was like, it keeps going over here. And I'm trying to keep it going straight. That's telling me I fight the good guy, bad guy battle all the time. Oh, that's crazy. Well, I think you guys have a little bit of everything from the quarantine dating perspective. You have the virtual, we're making it work, and be cautious at all as much as you can, especially when there's a kid involved. You've got, you know, your rotational needs that we discussed, but also being very safe. And if you are already single, I take my stance and stand by what I said because it really did work for me. I encourage you to just take this time. It's easier. This is the easiest it'll ever be to get to know yourself, because like when society is on and running, you have so much pressures. Even though you try to talk yourself into it, you have so much pressures and influence to be an outside chick. And so I would say take this time, but you have people who are open for it and say, you know, keep doing your thing. If you already started with somebody, keep doing your thing and make sure you take the time to FaceTime, you check in, and just read between those lines, read between those context clues, because virtual dating is not like real dating. So you got to look at the time frames between the messages. There's a lot of work in virtual dating, and honestly, I would say put that work into yourselves. But like we've all said many times tonight, to each his own. And feel free to contact us further if you have more specific questions on your quarantine dating life, or you want advice from Black Table Talk on your specific situation right now. We have an email that is open for questions and letters. You can contact us at blacktabletalk.info@gmail.com. Write us a letter. We will select one letter per show where we will come out and read and share and give you advice from our home to yours or wherever you are watching right now. And yeah, I mean, we have an Instagram that we're going to be launching this week. So look forward to that. You can hit us on DMs there where you can ask us questions or advice on any of our topics any week. And I really hope you guys got something that you can take home tonight on quarantine dating. I know it seems like we are leaving you tonight, but we are not gone just yet. We have one last segment that we would like to bring to you. And now is time to get a little shady. So if you haven't already, grab your cocktails, refresh your cocktails, because now we are going to get into some juicy, piping hot new tea, or the latest, what do they call it, you guys? It's a big word. Maybe I shouldn't even use it. But anyways, this is the latest tea online, a controversial topic. And that's what they call it. So this is our controversial topic of the night. And Alyssa, bring it in, because this is what you know.
Go, guys.
Get the story. Get the full story, because I even need to be filled in.
As I was perusing through Al Gore's internet, I was seeing a story about, I don't know if everybody knows her. When I talked to my baby daddy about it, he was like, who? But Queen Naija, I think that's how you say her name. You know, everybody knows, like, she's like a influencer, I would say, and also an artist. And she's also with this very handsome man named Clarence, and they have a beautiful baby child together. And so Clarence, the proud father that he is, decided to take to Twitter this week and announce how proud he was of his son's eggplant emoji, because his son is packing now. The baby's packing. So the baby's packing. And of course, you know, Black Twitter let him have it, honey. So, and you know, you have the people who are like, huh, why would you even say that? But then you have the people who are the extremists talking about, you know, oh, you're a pedophile, you know? So it all over the place, you know, all over the place.
But I say that.
Why would you say that? But and then his woman, of course, his Queen Naija,
his queen.
Get on Twitter as well and kind of, you know, back up her man, like, okay, guys, you know, social media, like, you know, some things, like, he just, you know, he ain't mean it like that. You know how these Trump supporters support their president. He ain't mean that. That's not what he said. That's not how he, that's not, you know what I'm saying? He meant it like this.
Gracie, yeah, she got it to me.
He got it like that. You must have misunderstood him. That's what her thing was. So I'm like, yeah, that's not what he said, baby. But, you know, and then he also went and took back to social media to kind of clear his case. He just said, I'd be proud of my son regardless. I'm proud of him when he takes his first shit. I'm proud of him when he takes his first steps. I'm proud of him. I'm like, all those are wonderful moments to be proud of. But some things just don't need to be said. That's my opinion on it. I just feel like some things just don't need to be said. It's just like random. I don't ever remember my mom saying, okay, Liz, some titties coming in looking big and juicy, girl. You better go with them big titties. You know, my mom wasn't on that. You know, my mom was like, maybe it's time for you to get a nice little training bra. You know what I'm saying? She'd help me out with that. And I expect for him to be able to say, okay, son, now you got a bigger thing, so you need to lean on the wall when you use the urinal. You know, but it's not even time for that yet. I understand the advice and stuff like that, but, you know, and I guess now that we're in a social media age, people would just have to put all their business, you know, on social media. And it's just like, some stuff just don't need to be said, because people are going to be looking at you like funny, like, who says that? You know, that's a conversation with your baby mama.
I get that. I feel like, I get it 100% as far as like the publicity of it all. Like, I feel like a lot of things sometimes, that's with a lot of things with like relationship or personal things. Sometimes like you share too much, but then who's to say it's too much, it's too little? Like, I personally don't see anything wrong with it. As a dad, there are certain things like father-son bonds that are just like different from mother-daughter bonds or any other bond out there. And as a dad, that's some things that you are excited about. I mean, like men in my family, they've said that plenty of times. I mean, especially because we don't have that many men in my family. So when we have a boy in our family, we're really excited. And maybe like no one's ever posted that or anything like that. But my real last name is Johnson. And there's been plenty of jokes. I have a little brother when he was a baby, he's like, that boy Johnson for show dog. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think anyone has ever like taken to Twitter and said like, you know, my little bro got that heat, got that work, you know, and I do that biz. So I do feel like there's a line between your at-home conversations and how you joke with your family than going to social media. I don't think there was anything wrong with the comment itself. He's a proud dad, and his son got that thing. But I think that should have been maybe just like a family joke around the house.
Yeah, I don't think everything needs to be, posted on Twitter, Instagram, whatever.
But then from a business perspective, good publicity is publicity. So he need to drop an album or a shirt or something while he hot, Clarence.
Right, while he talk, right.
I didn't know who the fuck you were, Clarence. Unfortunately, I had no idea. So all publicity, and you too, Queen. But I think I know your song, Medicine. Now it's coming to me. Maybe that might not be you. That might be her. Or that might be me. Shit. Y'all got too much motherfucking names going on. But, yeah, I do. I think that maybe he did it from a publicity. You never know with these celebrities anyways. All publicity is good publicity because here he is landed a spot on our show.
I mean, I feel like as a celebrity, I wouldn't even tweet right now. Like, because if we weren't in quarantine, everybody would have skipped right over what that man said. Like, I don't even think it would have made it to the shade room or whatever it was on because it was a joke. Like, he's a baby. Like, he can't be that. He can't be serious. It's a baby.
Yeah.
So,
Let's talk about how much did he have?
I need to see it for myself.
I'm like, well, did he drop a pic?
Going on Twitter.
Y'all crazy. Oh my god.
Good.
Oh my god. Well,
anytime you tweet or text, it can always be misconstrued if people don't know who you are. You know what I'm saying? People can always just twist it up and take it too serious and not take it,
Wait, so how do you guys feel about him like making another video to chime in and like explain what he meant by it? Like, do you feel like he needs to do that?
No, I always feel like that's whack. Like,
yeah, because if you did it, like you did it. Period. You don't need to explain.
He felt that it was right at the time.
That's why I love Boosie, because Boosie, he said, and Boosie and Nene Leakes, I said what I said, and I'm like,
yeah, period.
Not apologizing to the community. I'm done. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, I'm sticking to it. Yeah, I'm sticking to it. I don't know if we're supposed to be bumping R. Kelly, but that's another topic for another day. But yeah, I hear you. Like, I feel like if you say something, and especially as a celebrity, and you do a public mistake, I say just stand by it. There is no need for you to go and try to clean it up because regardless of if it's the truth or not, no one's going to hear you. You look like you capping either way.
So everybody got their opinion regardless. So.
Already. So just let it go on and be what it is and just write it off like that. And you should honestly, any person, we shouldn't be worried about our reputation. You should be worried about your character. So stop worrying about cleaning shit up and worry about more what you say up the first time. Okay?
Yeah.
That's how you do that.
That's it.
That's a good point. That's it. And there it is there.
And there it is there. And there you have it, folks. So, yeah, I mean, that was a great talk. And that concludes our entire show for tonight. So, again, we want to thank you guys for tuning in with us. You can catch us not at this same place and not at this same time. We will be filming live on Sundays, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so that is everybody on the West Coast or wherever you are, you can look up to see what your standard time is. And for everybody on the East Coast, we will be filming live on Zoom at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Zoom. And we will always post the meeting ID number and which we will be for those showings. And like I said, you are welcome to write us a letter via our Gmail, which is blacktabletalk.info@gmail.com. And there is where we can give you advice and welcome you into our homes. And also, feel free to, once we have our Instagram, if you guys are familiar with all of us individually, we will soon be directing to our Instagram where you can be a follower and eventually a subscriber to our YouTube channel, because that is one of our first platforms where we will be posting our show. Eventually, we would like to be on all the platforms such as Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, all of these wonderful things. So thank you for tuning in tonight, and we will see you next week at 7 p.m. and 4 p.m. for the West Coast. And we will also see you on all of our social media platforms. Again, I am King Jules.
It's
XO.
Cradled in Love.
Miss Essence.
And we will see you guys then.